All right, guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to find GM service information, service manuals, and that sort of thing. And, it's really handy to have a hard copy service manual for the vehicle you're working on. But if you don't have that, it's great to have the online version. But you usually need one of the two to get through the repair job. Things can be very complex nowadays. There can be torque values that you need to know. There can be specific orders of operation and specific procedures that you have to follow. So where can you find books like this, online or otherwise? Well, the easiest and obvious is you can find used hard copy manuals that are for sale, and I'll put some links in the video description for that. But what if you're looking for a brand new one? How do you get a brand new book like this? And how do you get this information in an online format if you don't want the book? I'll show you that too. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. That's what we're covering in today's video. All right, so for finding online service information from General Motors, so we're the cheapest way to get it and the most expedient way to get it is the online service information. You can get there by searching for AC Delco Technical Delivery System. And this will take you to this website here, AC Delco TDS. This is the official General Motors portal to their service information. Now, there's a lot of other stuff on here. This is where you can get subscriptions to software you need to use with diagnostic tools. But if we scroll all the way down here under service information, this is what we're after. And you can see for a 3-day weekend for $22, at least at the time we're making this video, for $22, you get access to all of the service campaigns and bulletins, all of the unit repair manuals, that's going to be transmission and transaxle type manuals, and then the vehicle service manuals as well as owner manuals, all online for the year ranges that you see. And you would just have to go over here, select that, add it to your cart, and then proceed to check out, right? So if you don't have an account already, you got to go over here, agree to the terms, and sign up to this, go through the CAPTCHA and get all this done and be able to sign up, get your account, and pay your $22. Obviously, I'm not going to walk you through that part because there's a lot of confidential data when you do that. You guys go ahead and set up your account, pay for your subscription, and then you'd have access to it. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and log in. I'll show you something I've already got access to, and I'll show you how this is laid out and how you navigate it. All right, after you get your account set up, and you get checked out with that subscription in your cart, and you come back to the main menu, and you scroll down under your subscriptions, there'll be this My Subscription section, and you'll see General Motors Service Repair Manual information for that particular subscription. This is the $22 version, just to show you. You can extend the time if you need more than the 3 days, or you can access what you got. You hit access, it's going to open up a new window and put you here. You can search by VIN and zero in on exactly the information that's specific to your vehicle. At this point, you have access to the entire thing, not just for your car. Or you can drill in by manual. So let's just go in by model year, make, and by the way, this make, right? So we only got 4 makes in model year 2014. If we go back further, let's say to 1995, we got more makes. So it's smart enough to pick up which makes were around for what year and which ones are obsolete based on some of the brands that have gone away over the years. Let's pick, let's pick Suburban just to keep it consistent. We'll pick 4-wheel drive and we'll hit next. And now we see we got access to the service manual, the accessories manual, a labor time guide, and all the owner's manuals for USA, Mexico, and Canada. Basically the whole North America mix based on the subscription for this particular website. If we go into the service manual and bulletin section, we're going to get a big disclaimer about, oh my gosh, you're not a GM dealer technician. You can have all kinds of things go wrong. You can injure yourself. You can injure your vehicle, blah, 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 blah. Scroll past all this. Take notice of it because it's serious. This isn't amateur night stuff. You can get injured, but it's common sense. Once you accept all those disclaimers, now you get into here. And now we can take a look at service bulletins, service campaigns, information that was sent out on a preliminary basis before the final service bulletins were in place, and then breakdowns of the chapters in the service manual. So just taking a look at a couple of these, let's first just look at the service manual information because that's the primary focus of the video. I'm just going to look for something that might be kind of interesting here. Let's take a look at, I don't know, let's look at engine and propulsion. And under engine and propulsion, let's look at engine controls, fuel, non-hybrid engines, or mechanical non-hybrid engines. And repair instructions. So there's a couple of things you can do here, right? So you can have a component locator, which will allow you to see different views. So front of the engine, this is where you get access to drawings. Go back here, cylinder head upper with active fuel management. So these are all the kind of blow-ups that you would see when in the parts catalog will appear in the service catalog. Service manual here as well. If we go back and we take a look at let's see, repair instructions on vehicle, then we can get a whole bunch of specific procedures for an engine. Let's say we want to do an engine mount replacement on the passenger side with RPO, regular production option L96. We can pull that up and it'll take us through it. Here's a drawing, here's where the mount is mounted, here's the instructions on what you need to do. Tells you about you got to raise the engine up so you can get access, remove the mount, take it through the wheel well, right? It's just going to walk you through step by step on how to do this particular procedure. And then when you get ready to put it back, one of the most important things in this, it's going to give you the torque value for reinstalling the fasteners. And it's also going to let you know, can you reuse the fasteners? If it doesn't say anything, you can. If they're one-time use, torque to yield type fasteners, it's going to tell you that you have to discard the bolts and replace them with new ones. Anyway, so that's an example of what you can do here. If we go back further and get back to the previous main menu on the bulletins, we can come into service bulletins and we can take a look at, let's take a look at technical, for example. We can see for this particular model year, brand, and model vehicle, there were just these bulletins put out that were technical nature. Let's just see, here's one, engine misfire information. So this applies to a bunch of different vehicles for the range of years you see, and it would give you some information about this particular problem and how you might be able to deal with it. These bulletins tend to cover things that are either not clear in the service manual or not addressed in the service manual. So it's always good to look at the service bulletins for your problem first, if it's something that's code-driven, diagnostic trouble code-driven, or unusual. And then if it's just run-of-the-mill, hey, I want to know how to replace part XYZ, you can just go straight to the service manual. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is everything you would get in the hard copy manual online here. All right, let's take a look at the hard copy service manual information. This is going to be to get them brand new. So this website here, Helm Inc., is going to take you to where you need to go. We'll get rid of this thing here, and then what you'll see is Helm has been for many, many decades the central printer for service information for a lot of automotive brands. Focusing on just General Motors for this video, we can see Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and Saturn all listed here. When you see something with powertrain, certainly with GM powertrain, I suspect it's the same for Ford powertrain, this is going to be transmission and transaxle type service information. So let's take a look at what's in here. So let's just for grins look at this one here. So if we go into GM powertrain and we come in here, we can see a number of different transmissions that are covered when these were manuals that were printed separately. In later editions, the transmission information is going to be included in the service information for the actual vehicle. But before that, they had their own separate versions, right? So if we pick 4L80E, for example, and we say, there's only one choice here in this case, and we go search on that, what we find here are various repair manuals. So they call these unit repair manuals when they're specific to transmissions or transaxles. Here we can see $200 for the 2004 version, $175 for 2000, and then 2001. So a lot of the older versions are out of print and you can't get them anymore. and these are the only ones you can still get. And if we go back here and take a look at the main menu and take a look at one of the vehicles, in this case, let's look at Chevrolet, very similar menu, and we come over here and say what we're interested in is, I don't know, let's pick Suburban. Pick any type of vehicle there, and for the year, let's say 2013, and for the document type, we want shop or service information. And then you go ahead and search. You can get owner's manual reprints from Helm too, for example. And here we can see 2013 SUV manual, covers Tahoe Suburban, Avalanche, Yukon, and Escalade all in one manual, $400. This is a multi-volume set. I believe this is three volumes, maybe four. In this case, it's only available in hard copy, printed on paper. This just gives you some more information about what you would get there. A lot of the cost on this, or a good chunk of the cost on this, is obviously shipping because of the weight. It's going to be very heavy manuals when you get them. But anyway, you can purchase this and then boom, you've got your own hard copy version of that manual, and you can do this for any number of ones. I don't know how far back this goes. Let's just try, can we get something from 2007 here? I'm not sure when things started getting out of print, so 07 is still there. How about 01? Let's see if 01 is still there. So 01 is also still there, just a little lag on the internet now. So I don't know, I was very surprised. I would think that at some point some of these would be cut off. I think we'll probably find it trying to go back into the 90s here. Yeah, at this point, the only thing that's left is an emission diagnostics manual. So the full service manual set is no longer available by this split. So it looks like you can go back, you know, a good decade and a half or so, at least for this particular model. So that's how you would get a brand new service manual today. You would normally see this referenced in your GM owner's manual towards the back. There'd be some information about contacting Helm to get that, but here's how you can get it directly online. So with that out of the way, let's take a look now at another source of information. All right, guys, the last thing I would show you is for classic and vintage vehicles, these old shop manuals are very often reprinted. They're reproductions, in this case 1957 for Chevrolet passenger cars. And it's exactly like the original manuals of the day. All the detail, the torque values, which were important even back then, all reproduced in a brand new manual format. Many classic cars and trucks from the 70s and earlier, you can find reproduction manuals. I'll put some search links in the video description for that as well. And that can be an option for something like that, right? Where the vehicle is just too old to show up on AC Delco TDS. If you looked at that, you can see that really practically there's nothing on there older than 1980, and really anything older than 1996 isn't going to have a shop manual. The only thing you're going to find prior to 96 is going to be like some service bulletin information. So for anything older than 96, really, you got to find a used manual or a reproduction manual. Anyway, I hope this information helps you out on finding a genuine GM OEM service information and the various options available depending on the vintage of your vehicle. If you got comments, go ahead and leave them below. Questions, I'll try to help. If you found this video useful and it gave you some information on how to find what you're looking for, I appreciate you paying it forward by hitting that like button. And as always, thanks for watching.